Hello YouTube. Recently I was trying to do some development on my Linux systems, and I realized there's an issue that I couldn't find a lot of information out there on. So I thought I would go ahead and make a video detailing the issue I faced and how I solved it. So here we are in VS-Codium. I prefer the telemetry free version of VS Code, which is I think part of the reason there's an issue. I created an empty folder called CLab, and we're going to go ahead and just say CLab test.c. Okay, we'll go ahead and throw some code in here off my clipboard. Simple hello world program should be pretty straightforward. Now you'll notice nothing comes up to suggest that I need stuff, and there's no run button, right? If I go ahead and I try to run the task, it'll just come up and say, you know, what configuration do you want? I don't have a configuration. Okay, so what's the easiest way to set this up? So if I go in here to extensions and I go into C extensions, like many of the videos out there say to do, for VS Code at least, the recommendation would be that you find the Microsoft plugin that looks somewhat similar to this. But as you can see, that's not available in VS-Codium. User Frantic94 did a great job of coming up with something that works here, and we can go ahead and install it. But as you'll see in a minute, there's going to be a few issues with it. Now, before we go any further, I will also point out it does install a dependency, installs the LLDB debugger. Now that it's installed, let's go ahead and see where we're at now. Okay, so now we have two extensions in here. Doesn't look like a reload's required. Although sometimes it is, you want to check that. And now we have, sufficient run button. You'll also notice that this particular version of the extensions puts a compilation of build tools down here at the bottom, and we'll go ahead and try those out. For starters, we'll start by trying to compile the code, and you'll see the first thing we hit is an error saying that GCC doesn't exist. So let's go ahead and open our terminal and say, okay, where's GCC? Which GCC? Oh, it's not here. Gee. What about CLang? Nope, not here. Okay, so we know we need to install GCC. Flag Y that so we don't have to respond to it here in a minute. And there it goes. That should install here pretty quickly. And it's done. Okay. Now back to this situation over here. We'll go ahead and we will try to start that compilation again. And this time it looks like it executes just fine. Let's go ahead and check our executable, and there's our hello world. So we ran successfully. That's good. That's good. Now let's say there was a problem. We'll go ahead and throw a breakpoint right here, and we'll say we needed to break on this, and we'll go ahead and go into the debugger. Except as you can see, it asks us to install a CPP DBG extension. Now, what can we do here? Now, those of you who are into C++ development might know all about how to fix that. And if so, this video is not really for you. This is primarily geared towards new people trying to do C development. So I have to point a few things out. If we go in here into our launch configuration, you'll notice on line 6 it says CPP DBG, right? And if I change this to be the LL debugger that we installed as a dependency, I go ahead and save it. Now if I hit debug, our debugger comes up and everything appears to go just fine. Now with that in mind, okay, we got this to work. However, I still have to point out there's still an issue. When you go to start a new one, right, open a new project or set up a new file, it's going to create these files from scratch using the extension. And so you can delete that to illustrate this, and the extension will create the file again. And you'll notice the debugger is back to this. So how do we set it up so that we don't have to change this every time? Well, here we go. So we're going to go into our files. If you don't have this already checked, go ahead and open this and say show hidden files. You just check that checkbox, or in your Linux flavor of choice, show hidden files. Go ahead and open the .vscode-oss folder, open the extension folder, and open the folder belonging to this particular extension. In there you'll find the templates folder, open it up, and you'll find the actual template file it uses to create that. Now if you just open this in your text editor, you can make this same edit here. Go ahead and save that. And now, if we delete this or create a new project or whatever have you, when it gets recreated, it'll be recreated with that slightly different configuration. And then when you go to debug it, of course the debugger works and everybody's happy. All right, that is it for this video. Thank you very much and have a good day.